Today I'm going to offer you a review of the Harbor Freight motorcycle lift. It's the model 61632. It's also sold as some other model numbers. It's all basically the same thing. And I just wanted to show my motorcycle up on the lift to prove that it does work. But I'm going to give you a complete review and go over some of the pluses and minuses of this unit. And I'm going to get up close with the camera here to show you some of the details. There's good and bad with Harbor Freight. I mean, the good is the price. This unit cost me about $72, and with coupons you can almost always get a price like that. So that's the good news. The bad news is it's not terribly well made, and you would expect that. I mean, if you look at these welds down here, they're absolutely terrible. I mean, I could do better than that, and I'm no welder. So that's the trade-off with any of this stuff from Harbor Freight. It's extremely cheap, but the quality's not great. Having said that, it's really not a bad unit. And if I pull back here, my bike's been on this lift for about 2 weeks now while I've done some work to it, and it hasn't fallen over. There are some interesting features with this unit which make it decent to use. If you look here, this is a safety bar, so it's using a bottle jack to lift the bike up, and then it has this bar right here which catches these welded on pieces of metal here as a safety. So when you're using this for a long period of time, you just let the bottle jack down and let the safety bar catch these. It's on both sides, and that holds the bike just fine. It also has wheels, of course. You can try to move it around if you want, although I probably wouldn't. And it has these screw jacks here so that you can screw down, catch the floor to keep the unit from wobbling around when you're trying to do work on it. So that's a good feature as well. To use the unit, it has a foot pump to pump up the bottle jack, and then it has this little foot unit right here to release the pressure if you want to drop the bike down. And it also has a handle which supposedly you can use to move it around, although it's not terribly sturdy, so I'm not sure I would do too much of that. Over here on the other side of the bike, again, you have the rollers right here, and it does have a place for straps so you can tie down the bike so it doesn't move too far on you. And I just want to give you a measurement here. If you go from the outside to outside dimension, is just shy of 14 inches. In this case, 13 and 3/4 inches from the outside of the two bars that lift on the frame of the bike. On my bike, it's a Triumph Bonneville. This thing just makes it. And my problem, I don't know if you can see it here, was the kickstand mechanism sort of almost touches. I was able to make it work, but it is a little tricky. So on your bike, you might want to check that just to make sure this is going to work for you. Here's another view from the other side now. And I think overall I would recommend this unit for the price. If you're going to be doing a lot of work on your bike, in other words, you're going to have bikes up and down on this thing, several times a week or several times a month even, I'd say go ahead and spend money on a better unit. If, like me, you're going to be using this probably once a year and that's it, then I'd say it's not a bad unit. I'm replacing my tires and I had some other work to do, so for me it worked out very well. And for the price, you really can't go too far wrong. The other units I've seen that are a little bit better made go from $150 to $250 and sometimes even higher, which I'm sure gives you better welds and maybe a little better construction. But for what I'm doing here, this works out just fine. So I would say, if it's an occasional use, go ahead and pick this unit up. You really can't go too far wrong for the price.